Okay, cool. Yes, skip the narration. Love it. Aha. Good job, game. No quality control? Yo.
A boy named Jack was cleaning his messy room one afternoon, trying to put away his toys and clothes. He sighed as he picked up his toy sword and pirate hat, wishing he could be out on an adventure instead. Feeling tired, Jack sat down on his bed for a moment's rest, holding the sword in his hand.
Oh, look, it's Broom
Before
Island.
he knew it, his eyes grew heavy and he drifted off to sleep.
What? Pyramids? And pirates? The hell is this?
In his dream, Jack found himself on the deck of a grand pirate ship with the wind blowing through his hair. He looked down and saw he was dressed as a pirate captain, complete with a hat and a long coat.
Man, this is... Bruh.
The sea stretched out before him, glittering under the sun, and his ship was cutting through the waves. Around him, a crew of loyal pirates cheered him on, ready for the next adventure. Jack grinned and took the helm, steering the ship toward the horizon in search of hidden treasure. The ship sailed past lush islands with towering palm trees and white sandy beaches. Jack's map showed the way to several islands, each with a different clue leading to the treasure. The first island was filled with dense jungle, where Jack and his crew had to fight off wild animals.
Yep, looks like a dense jungle.
After finding a hidden cave, they discovered the first piece of the treasure, a sparkling ruby.
Ooh, wow.
The second island was surrounded by treacherous reefs, but Jack skillfully guided the ship through them. On the island, they encountered a rival pirate crew and a fierce battle ensued. Jack's crew won the fight, claiming a golden chest filled with ancient coins. The final island was a mysterious place covered in mist with strange sounds echoing through the air. Jack and his crew ventured deep into the island, where they found an ancient temple guarded by stone statues.
Is that an elephant? But why can't I find the next one? I don't know. Why, game? Why? Why you do this? Why, I ask? Why do you do this? Why is it? What is that pink stuff? Is that it? Is that a freaking broom? That's a freaking broom. This is crazy. I don't see it anywhere. Bro, why? This is definitely one of the worst ones in terms of the feather placement. This is crazy. It's pretty bad. If I remember, Sky Castle was probably the worst, but this one's kind of up there because each level was just so weird and nonsensical. Oh, what the hell? There it is, bro. Why?
Inside the
Just
temple, they solved
unnecessary.
riddles and avoided traps until they reached the hidden chamber. There they discovered the ultimate treasure, a chest overflowing with jewels, gold, and a magical compass.
Okay. Here's the next one. My God, man, it's just back and forth, back and forth. Go here, then go there, then go here, then go back here.
As Jack held the compass, it began to glow, revealing a path to even greater adventures.
And then he woke up.
Just as Jack was about to set sail for the next journey, a loud noise startled him.
What's all these loud noises? What's happening?
He opened his eyes and found himself back in his room, still holding his toy sword. The noise was his alarm clock, reminding him it was time to finish cleaning.
Yeah? That's weird.
Jack smiled, feeling a sense of excitement from his dream, and he decided that his next adventure would be even better.
Oh, this one again. Hey, look at that, the dragon. Okay, and his head is going through the arch. That's cool. Yeah. This level's tiny.
Jason had been playing his favorite RPG game for hours, eyes glued to the computer screen. The game transported him to a magical kingdom where knights fought dragons and saved princesses.
This one's crazy.
As the
Compact.
night wore on, Jason's eyes grew heavy, and he finally shut down his computer.
I mean, the dragon was cool. It was like the blue eyes white dragon, but that's
He collapsed onto his bed, still thinking about the battles he fought in the game. Soon, sleep overtook him, and his dreams began to blur with the game's fantasy world. In his dream, Jason awoke to find himself standing in the middle of a vast green field. He was no longer a tired boy in pajamas, but a knight in shining armor, a sword strapped to his side.
bro.
A grand castle loomed in the distance, and Jason felt an unexplainable pull toward it. As he approached the castle, he heard the sound of panic and fear echoing through the courtyard. "The dragon is coming!" a villager shouted as people ran in every direction.
Ah!
Jason's heart raced, but he knew he had to protect the kingdom. He mounted a sturdy black horse that had appeared by his side and charged toward the danger. Dark clouds swirled in the sky, and the ground shook as the mighty dragon descended. The dragon's eyes glowed like embers, and its scales shimmered with dark magic. With a deafening roar, the dragon unleashed a torrent of flames that scorched the earth. Jason gripped his sword, feeling its magical power surge through him, and charged toward the beast. The dragon's fiery breath came inches from him, but he dodged with lightning reflexes. Jason swung his sword with all his might, but the dragon's scales were tough as steel. The beast roared in anger, swiping at Jason with its massive claws. Jason rolled out of the way just in time, his armor clanking as he regained his footing. Gathering all his courage, Jason leaped onto the dragon's back and aimed for its vulnerable spot.
You know, it'd be really cool if, like, instead of just, like, you flying around a random open world level where, like, you're just seeing the same stuff over and over again, it actually, like, depicted scenes from what's being narrated to you. But, I mean, you know, that would be obviously too much wishful thinking, of course.
His sword plunged deep into the dragon's hide, and the creature let out a final ear-splitting roar.
Because, you know, they just want to milk this as much as possible.
As the dragon fell, its dark magic dissipated and the sky cleared.
Okay, what? Where's the next one? I need 2 more, man. Come on, don't do this to me. Hang on, let me just crash real quick. That usually helps orient myself better. Guess not this time. Was that it? Yep. Wow. Trail distance is pretty bad.
The villagers cheered as Jason stood victorious, the dragon vanquished and the kingdom saved. Jason awoke in his bed, heart pounding, and wondered if it had all been just a dream.
Alright. Dream 5. So this is Dream 6. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Ethan sat in the quiet library, surrounded by stacks of books about space.
Everything's space.
He had been reading for hours, completely absorbed in the mysteries of the universe.
This literally looks like the first level, just different ships and different objects scattered about.
From black holes to distant galaxies,
Crazy.
each page took him deeper into the cosmos.
I don't like this one. This one's way too repetitive and just theme-wise the same.
The dim library light and the quiet hum of the air conditioning lulled him into a calm state.
I have to say, this is the first time that they reused a level within the game.
Eventually, his eyes grew heavy,
Twice.
and he laid his head on the table.
Usually they're a little bit more smarter about it.
Before
I
he
guess.
knew it, he drifted off to sleep, the books still open around him.
If that's the right choice of words, but this is definitely not good.
In his dream, Ethan found himself floating weightlessly in the vast expanse of space.
I'm not a fan of sci-fi, like, to begin with, but this is too much. There's way too many sci-fi levels in this game. In this
Stars
particular
glittered
game.
like diamonds all around him, and the Milky Way stretched out like a ribbon of light.
Like, if this game was, like, about space, then fine, I would expect it, but this is Dreamland, like, man.
Suddenly, a sleek spaceship appeared in front of him, its metallic surface gleaming.
Do kids only dream about space based on these developers' minds? Like, you know, what about clowns and school and, I don't know, like, or how much they hate school, I should say, but...
Without hesitation, Ethan drifted toward it, feeling an irresistible pull.
I don't know, like being a race car driver or something, man. Like a hero, a superhero, or secret agent or something. But nah, according to these people, everyone, 9 out of 10 kids dream about space.
As he entered the ship, the doors closed behind him with a soft hiss. The interior was filled with futuristic technology, and the controls seemed to call out to him.
Alright, at least I'm halfway done through this level. Yo, I swear, man. If there's another sci-fi level in this one,
He sat in the pilot's seat, and the ship's engines roared to life.
this one is probably the worst one I've played. I mean, it's very close either way, but damn.
With a burst of speed, Ethan was hurtling through space, passing planets and asteroids in a blur.
Wow.
Ahead, a massive space station loomed, its lights blinking like a beacon in the darkness. He docked the ship and stepped out into the station, marveling at the advanced alien technology. Strange creatures from distant worlds moved about, and Ethan felt a sense of awe and excitement. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the station, and a voice announced, "Incoming danger." Ethan looked out the window to see a swarm of enemy ships approaching, their weapons ready to fire.
Okay.
Without hesitation, he rushed back to his ship, determined to protect the station.
Just 5 more. At least this one's better.
The battle that followed was intense, with laser blasts lighting up the darkness of space.
This one's a little bit better in terms of the feather placements. They're still unnecessarily far.
Ethan maneuvered the ship with expert precision, dodging enemy fire and countering with powerful blasts of his own. After a fierce battle, the enemy ships were defeated and the station was safe.
Alright.
The aliens on the station cheered, and Ethan felt a surge of pride as a hero of the galaxy.
Last one. And there better not be another sci-fi level after this. Like, for real, man.
Suddenly, Ethan awoke in the library, the quiet hum returning, and wondered if it had all been a dream.
Okay, there you go. Something different, a little bit. It's about food. I like this. Oh boy.
Liam had just finished a fun and tiring cooking activity at school. The smell of sizzling pans and fresh herbs still clung to his clothes as he made his way to the school's sleep. He lay down on his bunk, exhausted but happy, and soon drifted off to sleep. In his dream, Liam found himself standing in a peculiar town, unlike any he had ever seen.
Oh my god, the draw distance is just so bad. I can't even see the freaking feather anywhere. What the hell, bro? Oh my god, why would they do this? Okay, I see it. Jeez, man.
The buildings were made from giant stoves with burners glowing faintly like warm windows.
Okay. I think that's it. What the hell is this? Okay. This one's bad. Yo.
The streets were lined with forks and knives, forming neat rows as far as the eye could see.
What is going on here?
As he walked, he noticed the street lamps were giant pepper grinders, casting a soft, warm glow. The sidewalks were made of buttered toast, and every step released a satisfying crunch underfoot. Liam marveled at a towering fountain of bubbling tomato soup in the town square. Nearby, enormous spaghetti strands twisted around street signs like vines, their ends dangling into bowls of marinara. In the distance, he saw a giant oven the size of a skyscraper, its doors glowing with heat. As he approached, the smell of baking bread filled the air, making his stomach rumble. The buildings closest to the oven were made of crispy golden baguettes, stacked high like bricks. The townspeople were made of different foods, like walking, talking vegetables and fruits. A friendly tomato waved at him, offering a slice of pizza from a cart made of cheese wheels. Liam eagerly accepted and took a bite, the flavors bursting in his mouth.
It's definitely an AI voice.
Suddenly, a giant ladle appeared, scooping up soup from the fountain and pouring it into a nearby bowl-shaped building. The town's clock tower was a towering stack of pots and pans, clanging together melodiously as the hour struck. Curious, Liam wandered into a bakery where ovens as large as houses baked cakes the size of cars. The baker, a jolly rolling pin with a chef's hat, invited Liam to help decorate a massive cupcake. Liam grabbed a piping bag filled with frosting and swirled it over the cupcake's surface.
Alright, at least this one's kind of quick.
As he worked, the entire town began to hum with the sound of bubbling stew, sizzling bacon, and clinking utensils.
Although the placement is annoying. It's way too random. And it keeps like repeating, like I keep going to the same areas. Which is stupid.
The giant oven doors opened, revealing perfectly baked pastries that floated out like clouds. The food-filled town felt alive and magical, as if every dish and utensil had a story to tell.
Alright, there we go. Come on, last one. Alright, cool.
Just as Liam finished his cupcake masterpiece, he awoke in the school's sleeping quarters, still tasting the dream's delicious...